New AirPods Pro are looking like they're going to show up sometime here in 2022, at least if we want to believe analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. He says that they'll be here in the second half of 2022. Kuo mentioned that even though Apple recently updated the AirPods, demand for the third generation of AirPods is, quote, significantly weaker than expected. That rolls into his rumors that Apple cut back on orders of AirPods. He says it's possibly because Apple does continue to sell the older version of the AirPods at a reduced price. So the second gen version, they're like $129 US versus $179 for the new version, and there just isn't enough features in the third generation to really drive sales. And I would tend to agree with that assessment. I think Kuo might be spot on there. He reiterated that the low demand is what forced Apple to cut back on those orders up to 30% for the second and third quarter of 2022. He also does not expect Apple to keep the original AirPods Pro around at a reduced price when they launch these new ones to avoid the same situation that they had with these AirPods. This time around, Kuo didn't specifically comment on what new features might be coming to AirPods Pro, but he did previously mention that Apple would significantly update the wireless chip and bring support for the Apple Music lossless audio format. And those improvements with that chip would also potentially bring adjustments and improvements maybe to noise cancellation, improved battery life. And he also said that Apple would add a speaker to the charging case so that it could be used with Find My. Other possibilities for updates in new versions of AirPods Pro could be smaller stems or no stems at all, and maybe some new sensors to integrate with Apple Fitness. So these are all things we've been hearing about from various analysts and could make their way into the next version of the product. As far as when in 2022, didn't get into any specifics, but I would imagine it would happen sometime probably this fall. And then meanwhile, if you're in India, any Apple AirPods from the standard version all the way up through the AirPods Max are now going to cost you about 10% more. That's because Apple raised prices this week after the government increased import duties on headphones, loudspeakers, and smart meters. And then finally, in, headphone news is what we're talking about, YouTuber John Prosser says that Apple will release new colors of their Beats Studio Buds. They're currently available in red, white, and black. He says Apple will be bringing a moon gray, ocean blue, and sunset pink sometime soon. And actually, I have a question for the community about the Beats Studio Buds, because they're priced at $150, and they have a lot of the features of the AirPods Pro. And I'm having some issues with my AirPods Pro. Basically, the microphones are going in and out all of a sudden. I don't know why. I'm going to do some troubleshooting, but I was thinking about being in the market for new AirPods Pro, and I either will wait for the new version to come out, or I'm looking at the Studio Buds, and about the only thing that they are missing that the AirPods Pro offers is the H1 chip, which of course is nice for the pairing and those sorts of things, but all of the other things like spatial audio and noise cancellation and the great mics and the fit and all that stuff are there. And again, they're $150 US versus $250? So quite a bit cheaper. So I'm curious, has anybody tried both the AirPods Pro, the current version, and the Beats Studio Buds? And what do you think? Is the sort of magical pairing experience worth the extra cost? In my mind, I feel like maybe, but it might be a hard justification. So I'm curious to know what the community thinks. Shoot me some feedback, send me an email, maccast@gmail.com.